You ever wondered how your AI agents are going to give you the competitive advantage? How they're always going to stay one step ahead of the game? I'm hoping someone's gardening. I hope you can't hear that. It's quite loud in the background, so I apologize if it is distracting. But yeah, the question of how your own AI agents keep you one step ahead of everybody else. And there's two prongs to this. One is that the AI will naturally upgrade itself. So I use ChatGPT, that's my area of expertise. This is where I create my agents. And what it will do is it will continuously be updating, continuously tweaking, bringing new things in. I believe we're going to have a new release this month with AI agents, which I'm so excited about. I can't wait to see what they bring in. I think it's going to be more focused around automation. But I use my own AI agents consistently, and I have two types. I have the first group, which are founder agents, which are much more about a human-centric conversation with the agents. This is, I consider to be more of a partnership. We have an ongoing relationship whereby it's learning about me, my business, my personality, my clients, my services, very unique conversation. And the other agents that I use are called smart agents, which are based on fulfilling a specific task. So I thought I would do this video because I was using Vista, one of my smart agents, for video optimization. And what this agent does is it does the SEO work. So, it can be a real pain in the ass to think about the heading, think about the copy you're going to put in the description box, bring together the tags it is that you want to pull in. So all I actually need to do is in the chat box, actually, I would click the conversation first, start to first. It would take me through a series of questions, and then I would answer the questions, and then it would do the heading, the description, and the tags all in one go. And when I did that this week, I was thinking, this isn't really hitting the mark. I want this to be better. The beautiful thing about that is that you can update your agent. So if something isn't quite working, you can update it and tailor it slightly differently. So I want to show you how to do that using the framework it is that I use. So I've just asked Vista what it is that she does. It's a she, not a he. So my agents have names and they also have a gender as well, which is quite amusing. But I think that's more about me, making me feel comfortable when I'm using it. I feel like there needs to be some level of emotional connection for me, but that's just me. So yeah, with all my agents, you can click the button and find out exactly what which one does. But this one is designed to fulfill a specific task, which is about the back end of a video that is going on to YouTube. So this is how I've set it up to follow this workflow. So what have we got? Optimize your metadata, and you can see it's on point with 60 characters. Write an engaging description with hooks. This is where it was falling down for me. The hooks weren't juicy enough. The hooks were a bit bland. Now, of course, that could have been what I was typing in, that what I was doing was bland. So it could be just a reflection of what I was doing. But anyway, because we have the freedom to be able to adapt and change our agents, we can play with it, update it, make it smarter, make it more intuitive and more in line with what we want to do. So SEO, it does, aligns with your brand, helps you to save time, inspire and guide, hooks, trends, improvement tips. Right, okay. So I'm like, this isn't working for me. This isn't as good as I want it to be. So what I will do is I will come into the name. Below there, you can see Edit GPT. Now, what you can do is you can clone it first. So if you royally mess it up, you can just go back to the original. It's always, here we go, duplicate. It's always a safe thing to do. I didn't actually do it when I was doing this for some reason, but it is the smart thing to do, I think, is to duplicate. And then when you're happy, you just delete the duplication. You can also go backwards, version history. Depending on how much you're playing around, though, you do have to be careful because you can, once you've got it good, good is good enough. Sometimes you can overdo it and really confuse what it is that you're trying to achieve. You can confuse the GPT in terms of what it is that you want it to do. So you have to be mindful of that. I've done it a couple of times and it's very frustrating. So good is good enough. One of the little trip for you, little pro tip, what I will do, I won't do it now, but the question once I've created my AI agent is a question that I always ask is on a scale of 1 to 10, how good is this agent? It will give me a score of 1 to 10. If it's a 9, I'm going to leave it. If it's a 5, which it's never been, if it's a 5, then obviously you've got work to do to make it better. I've created a 14-step proven system that I use to create GPTs. So we fill in that document beforehand, we then add that prompt in, and then that creates the GPT. And my score normally will sit around a 9 or a 10. And then it creates it straight away. So we don't have to mess around with trying to make it better. There's a very clear step-by-step process it is that I take my clients through. But I digress. Right. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to make the hooks better because I wasn't happy. So this is the prompt that sits in the background. Now, this prompt is shorter than how you build it. When you start creating your agents, you're going to give it a lot of information to train on. So this is like a snippet of what it is that it is doing. It's holding a lot more information in the background, is my understanding. So what I would do is I would just come into my agent and I would say something like, what would I say? Excuse me if my spelling is wrong. I'm dyslexic, so it's good that ChatGPT can sort it out. It's just no, it may not be the best question, but this is going to help me to start to understand how I can make my agent better. Because remember, this isn't my area of expertise, but it is ChatGPT's area of expertise because it can pull from a broad knowledge base that will allow you to ask the question and to give you the answer. Emotional triggers, ask engaging questions, promise a specific benefits, use curiosity, yeah, incorporate numbers of lists. I really like all of these. Actually, I really like all of these. And actually, I'm going to copy them because I just want to create an agent that is going to do hooks. Here's another pro tip, is that your agents will work best focusing in on one specific task, one specific theme. So let's just take, Vista is designed to do the back end of the video, the heading, the title, the tags, and the description. That's the role of Vista. If I then said I want you to do Facebook posts from this and Twitter posts from this and blah 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 from this, it's not as good. You want to think specific role, specific task, one agent. The nice thing about creating them this way is that I'll show you in a second, when you're using Vista to create your meta description, tags, the information that you need for the video, I can then pull in another agent, say maybe one that's going to do social media, which is set up with a specific tone of voice, with creating social media output in a specific style that I like. I can then pull that agent in So Bev, it's called. I can pull Bev in, and then I'll say, based on the above, create the social media. And it will do it in that style and that format with that expertise in that role, rather than trying to get one agent to do everything. Okay, so what I would do is I would read through this and I'd think, oh, yeah, I really like that. That makes sense. That's exactly what I wanted to do. And then I would say, update the prompt to include this information to create better hooks, but also keep everything else that is in the prompt. I just want to update the hook section. And then it'll just update the hook section. It won't muck around with the rest of your prompt. And then you can just test it. That is how easy it is to update a okay, that's how easy it is to update an AI agent. And so you're constantly got a competitive advantage. So it's constantly improving. So it's doing two things. ChatGPT is constantly evolving, constantly updating. The agents have become much smarter. They're becoming much more intelligent all the time. And then there's what you do in terms of learning about your own agents, what the output is, what the output is. Do you like it? Is it good enough? Score it, on a scale of 1 to 10. How good is this agent? If it says it's a 5, you've got some serious work to do. If it's a 9, leave it alone. Leave it alone. So I did the at side. I did the at side. And then what I can do is pull in Bev, and then I'll say, create the social media based on the above. And then what's going to happen is Bev mindset, how I've set Bev up to create the social media content, the length of the post, the styles of the post, the hashtags, the tone of voice has all been set up in Bev as a separate agent. I'm not getting Vista to do everything. I'm getting Bev to do that specific role, Vista to do another role. So this is how you keep your AI agents super smart, not just by relying on the AI platform itself to update, but by consistently using them yourself, testing them yourself, making sure that you're happy with the output. It may be, when you create them, you're really in the zone of creating them. And sometimes you just need time to breathe to make sure it's exactly how you want it to be. But here's the thing. Just imagine, right? I've done the video. I've just done the social media. What else can I now do that's going to take me seconds? I can write a newsletter. So I can bring in Lucy, who will write a newsletter from this content. What else can I do? I can write a blog post. I can write 2 types of blog posts. I can write one that is 1,500 words, and I can write one that is 500 words. So I've got 2 agents, one that does 500 words and one that does 1,500 words, because they're slightly different to one another. So I can create 2 blog posts in a matter of seconds. Insane from this one video it is that I've created. I can then think about, okay, so I've got these 2 blog posts. That's good for SEO on Google and the major platforms. How can I make it user-friendly for the big language models like ChatGPT? So I have an agent that will write the copy in the style that the LLMs love, so it can be searchable on the platforms, on the new platforms. So traditional SEO and new style content that is written specifically for large language models. What else can I do? How else can I repurpose that content? It's just absolutely mind-blowing what you can do. I can turn it into 50 tweets. I can turn it into limitless social media posts. Anyway, I digress. But this is how quick social media now, and you've really got to get ahead of the game here. you want to keep your agent smart, up to date, improving all of the time, making your life and your client's life a lot easier, raising, that level of visibility. And I'm going off on one because I'm thinking you've really got to get ahead of the game here. Um, but that's actually more for my clients. I'm saying that, not for people who are creating AI agents, because you're already naturally ahead of the game because you're watching this video, you're learning, you're creating your own agents, you're making them smarter, you're seeing people's workflows. Yeah. So I'm just going off on one. But I'd love to know how you are using your task agents. How are you updating them? Do you have a different way that you do it? Is it something that, yeah, actually, how do you do it? How are you, because unless you're using it, how do you know, would be my question. How would you know what needs to change? So I'd be really interested to know how you're actually doing that. So I can have a think about, does that add a different spin to what I'm doing with my own AI agents? That would be really cool. If you want a demonstration of how the AI agents can work, the Empower AI agents, just let me know. There's a link below. You can get booked into my diary, and then we can go through a demonstration with you, and you can see how they could be implemented for your business. These agents are generic. So what I mean is that they are, well, actually, they're not generic. They're sort of generic. They're created for coaches, consultants, and therapists. So they've got a niche. So that's running the background of each creation of each agent. Whereas you may not be a coach, consultant, or you might be a small business. So we could have a think about and a conversation around how this could actually work for your business to make things run smoother and faster. So this isn't about hardcore automation. This is about bringing everything, getting all your ducks in a row, ready for the automation process. I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you've got a bit of insight into how we update our Empower AI agents to keep them, to give them that competitive advantage, to make sure they're constantly being improved, updated, that they're the best that they can actually be.